I love my son very much, you guys. It's just that sometimes he doesn't get the position he's in. He doesn't realize it, which is why I love it whenever he brings his friends over. He brings his friends over the house and they're constantly saying what I'm saying. And as a parent, anytime you tell your kids something, that's one thing. When you can get their friends to say what you say, you can't pay for that. And they're always doing it. You know, Frankie, you're lucky, man. Your dad's trying to help you go to college. My dad wants me to get a job. Frankie, you're lucky, man. Your dad's trying to give you a car. My dad doesn't even trust me to walk. You're lucky, man. And I hear this and I'm like, I love these kids. Because see, my son is very numb to this situation. He's very numb to all of you, and he's very numb to Fluffy. Okay, he doesn't see Fluffy. He sees Dad. Dad! I'm just Dad. You know, I'm the guy that tells him, clean your room, take a shower, and put on deodorant, which he does very well now. But you guys saw what I had to do to make that happen. See, his friends, on the other hand, they still get excited when they see me. They still geek out. I walk into the living room, they're all sitting there. Frankie sees me. Hey, Dad. His friends see me. They see this. With like doves. Can you imagine if every time you walked into a room that happened? He's here. Ladies, imagine if your partner could do that for you. Huh? It's your anniversary, a celebration, some magical moment, or you're just laying there and you're drunk. And you're just like, what are you gonna do to me? What are you gonna do? One extra dove. And by the way, guys, if you're ever able to pull off the doves, just leave it at that. Don't try to top the doves. It's very hard to top the doves. Don't start running your mouth and talking smack. She's laying there, and don't start, you don't even know what's gonna happen to you. You don't even understand. You're gonna get it. Don't do that, because ladies, all you have to do is look at him and go, ah. Anyways, back to my son's friends. So my son has these two friends that come over the house all the time. One friend, his name is Ken, works a lot with computers. The other friend, his name is Fabian. He wants to be a police officer. Both of these kids are really, really good. Now, I keep calling everyone kids, even though they're all 18. But to me, they're kids. I'm almost 40. I'm like, Like some of the conversations that we have are very adult-like. And the other conversations, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? For example, at home when I'm hanging out, I usually just wear, very similar to now, except the Hawaiian shirt. I usually wear like a t-shirt that has like either Star Wars or Marvel Comics or Transformers on it or cartoons. I like wearing stuff like that around the house. One day, I'm wearing a t-shirt that has the Avengers on the front. And I walk into the living room, and my son's friend Fabian sees me wearing this shirt. And so he starts pointing. And I'm like, what's up, dude? He goes, weak. Excuse me? Weak. And then he says, DC's better. What did you say? DC's better. I'm like, DC's okay. Obama lives there. They pass laws. They got hotels, historic museums. It's not even a real state. I don't know why you're getting cray-cray. He goes, nah, fool, DC Comics. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm almost 40. I don't care. It's just a really cool shirt. I like it. It fits. No big deal. That's because they are. I go, you need to relax. They're the best. I go, you need to chill. And in my head, I'm like, why am I having this conversation? I have better things to do with my time, like trying to get my son on an elephant. But no. The kid in me's like, why are they the best? And then he points at the shirt again. Iron Man sucks. Batman's #1. I go, why? Because he is. I go, that's not an argument. First of all, Batman's not the best superhero. I hate to break it to you. He's not. I can hear people already getting ready to boo. They're like, oh, no, Fluffy, don't go there. Don't go there, Fluffy. Don't do it. Yes, I'm gonna do this. Watch this. Batman's not the best superhero. Batman is the creepiest superhero. Batman is the creepiest superhero that has ever lived. He even sounds creepy. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. You don't recognize that voice? Want some candy? Help me find my puppy. Hello, he only comes out at night. His face is always covered up. He's always waiting in alleys. And who does he talk to? A guy named Joker, a guy named Riddler. His name is Batman. Joker, Riddler, Batman. Joker, Riddler, Batman. Those are Mexican gang member names. Can you imagine if that was Batman's real identity at night? I'm Batman. During the day? No, chingue su madre, soy Batman, loco. Todo el pinche día aquí trabajando y luego le parte la madre Joker. I'm Batman. I said, all right, Fabian, Mr. Batman's the best. Based on my t-shirt says Marvel Comics. I said, I see Thor, I see Captain America, I see Iron Man. Who are some of the superheroes that DC Comics has that makes them better than Marvel? Go. Batman, you said that. Superman, that's a good one. Wonder Woman, okay. Green Lantern, whoa. I said, I know the other superheroes, but Green Lantern? What's his power? He wears a ring, and the ring gives him power. I said, that's a fantasy. I don't know any man who wears a ring who has power. And if you're not clapping right now, my point exactly. You can't clap, can you? You can't. You know why you can't clap? Because you're sitting next to kryptonite. He's not even clapping. He's like, no, me pega Wonder Woman. No. Listen, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel just a pinch like a superhero in the sense that I'm able to walk out in front of large groups of people, change people's moods, make people smile, make people laugh, make people feel a little bit better. By that same token, like any superhero, I have my weaknesses too. You know, I come out here and I make you happy, and then I go home and I piss off one person. Because she don't want to hear about this. She doesn't want to hear about you guys. I can't go home and brag. Baby, it was crazy in Chicago. That's nice. Take out the trash. But they were clapping and chanting my name. Oh, is that going to help? Okay. Take out the trash. Take out the trash. Take out the trash. Take out the trash. But they told me they love me. The fact that I got to meet Snoop was awesome. He looked for me. But every now and then I go out and I wanna meet people. I wanna see cool things. And for example, comedy. I'm a huge fan of comedy, not just performing it, but I love going to shows. I go to a comedy show every now and then alone. Now, I don't know if that sounds weird to you guys, but for me to do anything nowadays by myself, it's my crew, all the people that work for me, they freak out when I go places because they're always concerned for my safety. You know, what if someone tries to kidnap you? Well, they're gonna earn it. I got into a fight with some of my team members and I said, you know what, I'm going out. I bought myself a ticket and I went to go watch Chris Rock one night in concert. Now, I says, you know what? Maybe I can make my way backstage and I don't know, if I get lucky, maybe I'll say hi to him. I've always wanted to meet him. So I go to the side of the stage and I run into security and I said, hey. He looked at me and said, Fluffy! And when he did that, I said, hey, listen, I forgot my keys. I'll be right back. And the guy's like, yeah, keep going. Get your keys, get your keys, get your keys. I'm like, oh my God, that shit worked. Just like that, I snuck backstage at a Chris Rock concert. Once I was behind the curtain, I was in my element. I knew where everything was. I knew where the food was. I knew where the dressing rooms were, where the bathrooms were. I'm walking around with a soda. People are coming up to me. You know, we didn't know you were gonna be here. I got a call last minute. Looking for my keys. I says, you know what? I got this far. I'm gonna push it. I wanna meet him. I've always wanted to meet Chris Rock. It was not hard. Once I was back there, I just had to go to the dressing rooms. All I had to do was read the name on the door. I'm standing there in front of the door and I'm hyperventilating. Just the door opens up and there's this man in there, this bodyguard who's just massive. I'm a big guy, but damn, dude was huge. As soon as he opened the door, just welcome to Jurassic. Big! Grandote! And I'm standing there and I'm like, hi. And he's like, can I help you? Yes, my name is Gabriel. I'm a comedian. And I wanted to see if I could say hi to Chris Rock, if that's possible. You say you're a comedian? Yes. Well, then you understand Chris is going over his material right now. He really ain't trying to talk to nobody. So I'll tell you what, player, if you want to come by after the show, you're more than welcome to. But right now, it's not a good time. Chris Rock is a busy man. Can I wave? Excuse me? Can I wave? What you mean? Can I wave at Chris? I don't have to come in. Can I wave? Chris Rock is in the room. He can hear the stupid conversation that's taking place. I know this because I can hear Chris Rock in the background. What's going on? Who's at the door? Move out the way. Yo, Chris, I got this, man. I got this. Move! All right. And the guy stands to the side, and now I'm looking at Chris Rock. And he recognized me. And it freaked me out. Oh, yeah, it freaked me out. He's like, ah, shit. Look who it is. Look who it is. It's the king of the Mexicans. Chris Rock called me the king of the Mexicans. For the rest of the show, everyone referred to me as El Chapo. I was celebrating the fact that I got away with that for so long. For so long. I snuck backstage at Chris Rock. I snuck backstage. Until karma showed up one day. In the form of the most extreme fan I have ever had in 20 years of me being a comedian. I had someone who not only made it backstage, this person paid to get into my dressing room. Okay? Yeah, he didn't pay me, by the way. He didn't pay me. I'm an honest hoe. Okay? I made no money that day, all right? Yeah, if I would have gotten paid, you wouldn't be hearing this story. Here's the thing. I walk into my dressing room from the bathroom. I just finished showering up and I'm in a towel. I walk into the room, come to find out later that this man was a very wealthy businessman in the community, okay? And when I walked into the room, he's wearing a very, very nice suit. So when I saw the suit, I didn't give it a second thought because he looked professional. I thought maybe he was the general manager of the building, one of the concert promoters. He could have been someone's agent. So when I walked in the room, my towel, can I help you? He looks at me And it was the most uncomfortable conversation I have ever had. He looks at me and says, listen. I am not here to waste any of your time. Fluffy, I am prepared to take care of you. I will give you a new Lexus and an allowance that's more than what you make as a comedian. Leave with me. I was never more disgusted and offended at the fact that I was not gay. Because finally, somebody wants to take care of me. Do you know how many people I take care of? No one's ever offered me a Lexus, and they should. I felt horrible saying no to this guy. I still think about it. I still have the number. Houston, I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't know how this is gonna go over, but I'm gonna say it. I would be an amazing gay partner. I would, all the way up until that one part, but even then. Have you ever driven a Lexus? Those are nice. Sometimes you gotta take one for your own team. I'm just saying. And speaking of whores, let me tell you where they put us up at. That's a bad segue. No, there's no whores at this hotel. Listen, I would like to personally thank the promoters for not only making this special happen, but for taking really good care of us. They put us at a hotel that's right across the street, you guys. And you know you're in a good hotel when you get inside of the elevator and it talks. It's one of those, you know?
First floor, second floor, third floor.
I'm like, man, she sounds hot.
Fourth floor, fifth floor.
Oh, yeah. Martin asked me, how far are you going up? I said, all the way. I gotta see how this ends, you know what I'm saying? And by the way, you guys, since the last time we were here, I've had a few things change in my life. Some things happened that were so crazy that I couldn't even believe that it was a possibility. First thing that happened was I had my first ever celebrity death hoax, meaning that someone faked my death on the internet and it went viral. Someone wrote an amazing article that was read by over 30 million people that was so good, even I was like, oh my God, I was so nice. TMZ reported it for 30 minutes until they called my publicist and confirmed that I was still alive. The article said that I had died October 31st from complications of type 2 diabetes. And in my head, I'm thinking to myself, that's a hell of a day to kill a diabetic. You know what I mean? That's like killing Santa on Christmas Eve. 30 million people read this article. No one thought to call me. Except Martin. That's right. Martin was the only one that called me. And I think that was just to verify that he still had employment. I got that phone call. Hello? Martin was like, hey, you dead? No, man, I'm good. I figured you would have texted me. And I would have, because that's the kind of friend I am, you know? I even asked my son Frankie, I said, Frankie, did you hear I died? That's what they meant. I go, what do you mean that's what they meant? Well, my friends were asking if you were okay. I go, what'd you tell them? I hadn't seen you. So, well, apparently I died. Welcome back. And that's another thing that's changed, you guys. My son Frankie is now 18 years old and 1 week away from graduation. You guys are clapping, but he's not leaving. I've already asked him, I said, Frankie, what do you want to do with your life? Have you thought about college? Just now. I'm like, Frankie, you do realize that all you need to do is get accepted. I tell a lot of jokes. I will pay for your entire college education, no matter where you want to go, as long as you get accepted. What do you think about that? I say, you know, if you want to go to school in California, we'll make it happen. You want to go to school out of state, we'll make it happen. I said, hell, I'll even do one of those international programs. You know, the ones where you give them one of your children and then they give you one of their children? What is it called when you kid swap? Thank you. Sorry. That's right. Exchange. Some of you are like, that's called human trafficking. Different program. I would love to do an exchange program with my son, but don't give me a regular kid. If I'm gonna do an exchange program, give me a kid from like a hardcore third world country so that he appreciates all the basic things most American children take for granted. That's why I say, give me little Tombutu. Give me Tombutu. I would love Tombutu, and Tombutu would love me.
Mr. Fluffy,
Yes, Tombutu.
I was wondering, what time do we go to sleep?
You go to sleep whenever you like. This is your room. We sleep next door. All of this is for Tombutu? Yes, all of this is for Tombutu.
In my village, 2 families sleep in an area this big.
Well, here in America, one big-ass Mexican kid sleeps right here. Enjoy. And then I would take him to like IHOP or Denny's and let him order whatever he wants and just watch him lose it. You know?
This is the Thanksgiving I heard of. Thank you, Mr. Fluffy. Thank you. If there is anything Tombutu can do for you, please tell me. Anything.
Can you help me take out the trash?
For you, I will eat the trash.
Meanwhile, my son's on the other side of the world on top of an elephant trying to get Wi-Fi. I love my son very much, you guys. It's just that sometimes he doesn't get the position he's in. He doesn't realize it, which is why I love it whenever he brings his friends over. He brings his friends over the house and they're constantly saying what I'm saying. And as a parent, anytime you tell your kids something, that's one thing. When you can get their friends to say what you say, you can't pay for that. And they're always doing it. You know, Frankie, you're lucky, man. Your dad's trying to help you go to college. My dad wants me to get a job. Frankie, you're lucky, man. Your dad's trying to give you a car. My dad doesn't even trust me to walk. You're lucky, man. And I hear this and I'm like, I love these kids. Because see, my son is very numb to this situation. He's very numb to all of you, and he's very numb to Fluffy. Okay, he doesn't see Fluffy. He sees Dad. Dad. I'm just Dad. You know, I'm the guy that tells him clean your room, take a shower, and put on deodorant, which he does very well now. But you guys saw what I had to do to make that happen. See, his friends, on the other hand, they still get excited when they see me. They still geek out. I walk into the living room, they're all sitting there. Frankie sees me. Hey, Dad. His friends see me. They see this. With like doves. Can you imagine if every time you walked into a room that happened?
He's here.
Ladies, imagine if your partner could do that for you. Huh? It's your anniversary, a celebration, some magical moment, or you're just laying there and you're drunk. And you're just like,
What are you gonna do to me? What are you gonna do?
one extra dove. And by the way, guys, if you're ever able to pull off the doves, just leave it at that. Don't try to top the doves. It's very hard to top the doves. Don't start running your mouth and talking smack. She's laying there, and don't start, you don't even know what's gonna happen to you. You don't even understand. You're gonna get it. Don't do that, because ladies, all you have to do is look at him and go, ah. Like I said, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, someone's going to find a way to twist things and make it bad. I've already gotten an email over the fact that I did that joke about that nothing on this planet loves me more than my dogs versus my son. Someone already reached out and they're like, oh my God, how devastating for your son. I'm like, he knows. I love him very much. My son is going on 25 years now. He's 20. Yeah, he's 24 years old. Frankie is 24 years old. Yeah, thank you for clapping. He's still at the house. I did an interview recently, and someone was asking me questions about my son. They said, Gabriel, you've always mentioned your son in your specials. Can we look forward to a new story coming out? And I said, not really a new story so much as, because my son is doing his own thing now. He's doing his own thing. He's got his own life, and that's awesome. I do, however, still have stories from the past that I never told. And he goes, well, do tell. I said, okay, my favorite story is actually probably the first one. In 2007, when I first got him, some of you know he's technically my stepson, but I've never liked saying stepson. He is my son. Yeah. He is my son or my aftermarket child. No gray area. Anyway, it's 2007, and for some reason, I'm home on Halloween. Now, here's the thing. As a comedian, I have signed up to perform 365 days a year. There is no sacred day for me. I work on Christmas Day. I work on New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, birthdays, holidays, special occasions, no matter what. My mom told me, si hay trabajo, hay que trabajar. You got to work, especially if you got a good job. You don't want no one to take it, so if you're going to go for it, give it everything. So the fact that I'm not working on Halloween is super rare. And so my son's mom is like, she's like, I think this is so cool that you're home today. Since this is Frankie's first year where it's just the three of us, how about this? How about tonight, you take him trick-or-treating and I'll stay home and give out candy. This way it'll give the two of you an opportunity to get to know each other, have some conversations, have some laughs. What do you think? I said, baby, you know what? That's a great idea. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm on it. Frankie, come on. We're going trick-or-treating. What about my mom? She's going to stay home.
Yay.
So we get in the car. And I take Frankie to that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That neighborhood that gives out the Costco candies? Yeah. So we park the car and we start going up the street. And I'm not wearing a costume. I'm there for him. So he's dressed up for Halloween. I'm just me. So some of the doors we knocked on, the people freaked out. One guy was like, the Fluffy. I'm like, oh my God, I've never been referred to as the Fluffy. I didn't know what to say. It is I. One door we knocked on, they opened the door, they're like, oh my God, you're famous. I was like, ah. We go all the way up, we cross the street, we come all the way back. By the time we get to the car, the bucket is overflowing with candy, okay? So we get back to the house, and it hasn't even been an hour. We walk in, and Frankie's mom is pissed. She's like, the hell is this? I go, what? I thought I told you to take him trick-or-treating. I go, I did. Look, show the score. The whole point of you taking him trick-or-treating wasn't to get candy. The hell you say? What was the point? The point was for the two of you to spend time together, have some laughs, have some conversations, get to know one another. You're not going to do that in an hour. Can you please, for me, take him out one more time for at least an hour? Baby, I get it. Don't even worry about it. I got it. So I said, Frankie, come on. Dump out your bucket. Round 2. So we go outside. We get in the car. I don't want to go door to door again. So I said, I got an idea. I take Frankie to Walmart. We get to Walmart, and Frankie goes, what are we doing here? I got it, watch. We walk in. I said, grab a cart. Follow me. And I lead Frankie all the way to the candy section. Well, as soon as we get to the candy section, I stop the cart. And I got in Frankie's face, and I said, Frankie, you have exactly 30 seconds to grab as much candy as you can. Ready? Go! And he froze. I said, dude, clock's ticking. You better move. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So he grabs a bag, looks at it, throws it in the cart. Grabs a second bag, looks at it, throws it in the cart. Grabs a third bag, and on the third bag, time! And it was the first time I heard him go, shit! Because he knew he wasted that golden opportunity those first few seconds. So we get to the car, I rip open the 3 bags, I dump them out in his bucket, and I tell him, look, Frankie, when we get home, you cannot tell your mom that we went to Walmart. Why not? Because she's going to say that we cheated trick-or-treating. But it's better. I know it's better. So we get home, and of course now it's a different tone. She's like, there you are. Did you guys have a good time? We had a great time, baby. We had a good time, huh, Frankie? That's good. Frankie, give me your candy. Why, Mom? Because I need to go through your candy to make sure it's safe for you to eat. Why wouldn't it be safe? It all came from... Cállate, pendejo. Cállate. Cállate, cabrón. Cállate. He almost took down the empire, you know what I'm saying? So he hands over the bucket, and she grabs it and immediately dumps it out on the table right in front of us. She notices, you know. There's a lot of the same candy right here. A lot of the same candy. Can you explain why there's so much of the same candy in Frankie's bucket? I don't know what to tell you, baby. There's a lot of basic bitches in this neighborhood. You know, just kind of, I don't know. We can't go back to that other neighborhood because they got cameras and they're going to know us. And we don't want to be that person. Nobody wants to be that. So fast forward 1 year. It is now October 31st of 2008. And for some reason, I'm not booked on Halloween again. And so my girl's like, she swears up and down, oh, it's a sign. It's a sign. I'm like, it's a sign my agent is slacking. Shout out, Matt. I know you're here. Sorry about that joke. You're doing a great job. Thank you for this one. I know, but that year you dropped the ball. So, but anyway. And so Frankie's mom is like, I think that, you know what? maybe, just maybe, we can make this like a tradition. You know, this could be your guys' thing. The two of you go out trick-or-treating, and then I'll stay home and give out candy. This could be your thing. I go, you know what, baby? Sounds good to me. Frankie, come on, we're going trick-or-treating. What about my mom? She's going to stay home again. Yay. So we get outside, we get in the car. I lean over and I look at Frankie and I said, Frankie, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Walmart. We pull up to Walmart. We walk in. I said, Frankie, grab a cart. Follow me. And I lead him all the way to the candy section. As soon as we get to the candy section, I stop the cart and I get in his face. I said, Frankie, you have exactly 30 seconds to grab as much candy as you can. Ready? Go! Apparently, this motherfucker was training all year for this. As soon as I said, go, his arm, bam, and he starts gutting the shelf. He's ripping bags of candy into the cart. He overflowed the shopping cart in 10 seconds. I firmly believe that's the first day of my diabetes. And by the way, I know I keep pointing at people in the front right here. If you're here tonight with someone you have no business being here with, and you see a camera coming by, just be like, hey, Victory! They're very respectful. They'll go to the next person. Don't even worry about that. Before I forget, you guys, I would like to thank the Allstate Arena for providing some amazing accommodations backstage. Let me tell you right now, I love my dressing room for the simple fact that it has basic things that I really like light switches. A lot of these arenas are now starting to go green, and so they're taking away the light switches and they're replacing them with sensors. Sensors are cool when they work. You know what I mean? Like when you're 10 feet away and it senses you and the whole room just... What I don't like is that when they're messed up, then you have to walk into a dark-ass room and establish your presence. But then you stand still for 4 seconds. No. Shit! In addition, backstage, my sink has knobs on it. I have control of the temperature and the pressure of the water, which in the Chicago area I believe is very important, especially in the winter. Oh man, you guys are no joke in the winter. You need warm water when you wash your hands. You can't rely on a sensor that gives you nothing but cold water, because you wash your hands with cold water, your hands get all cryptic. Then you go outside and people are making fun of you. Look at Thriller. But my dressing room, you guys, has a sink that has hot and cold. You can control the water. You can control the temperature. You can control the pressure. I hate it when they take that away from us and they replace it with that little sensor. So now, in addition to being a comedian, now I gotta be a magician. I'm not a magician, but if you watch me wash my hands, that's what I look like, you know, just... Nothing. Then you walk away. Shh. I feel like there's someone behind the mirror messing with me, like, watch this. Some places stop there. Some places keep going. I like a lot of soap when I wash my hands. I like a good soap dispenser. I like the, the pump. I hate it when they take that away from us and then they replace it with that little spout that goes next to the faucet. You stick your hand under it and it gives you that little booger of soap. You know what I mean? That little moco, you put it under. You know you need more, so you pull it out and then you go back in, but the sensor's like, no, it's still you. Now you gotta trick it, right? Once you get enough soap on your hands, now you got to try to wash it off. But you can't wash it off then and there because the timer for the water has timed out. So now you have to back up, and now you have to put on a second performance. Now it's a race to get that soap off your hands. Once you get the soap off your hands, now you got to try to dry your hands. Some places still give you a towel. Some places give you paper towels. Some take the paper towels and they put them in a box on the wall with another sensor. And there you are. 3 inches of paper. 3 inches, Chicago. You can't do anything with 3 inches. Ask any woman, they'll tell you. Or a guy, I'm equal opportunity. I need control of the paper. I need the crank. Some places stop there, some places keep going. Have you ever walked into the bathroom stall, closed the door, locked it, turned around, looked at the toilet, and seen a blinking red light on the wall? And you're like, really? Here too? All you're trying to do is get the tissue paper off the wall for the toilet seat. You take one step. I haven't even done anything. You grab the paper. You turn around and you put it on like a cape. And you let it slide down your back while you slowly try to time it just right. And just as you're about to sit down, somebody always walks into the bathroom and distracts you. Huh? But it's too late. Your knees are bent. And unless you do CrossFit, you're not coming back from that one. Then your bare ass touches the seat. And you're like, ah! And just when you think it can't get any worse, and all this water splashing up, hitting you right in the ass. And then the water goes down the drain and it creates that air vortex that goes right between your legs. So now you have a tsunami in the back. You have a tornado in the front. And who's the victim?
Pikachu.
And he's holding on for dear life. You haven't even made magic yet, and you've already been violated by plumbing. Now you do what you need to do. You finish. Now it's time for cleanup, time for maintenance. So you reach over for the toilet paper, and the problem with using the restroom nowadays is that most venues, including this one, instead of putting a human-size toilet paper roll inside of the human-size toilet paper roll dispenser, they take their ass to Costco or Sam's Club or one of these places where you buy in bulk, and they buy that giant gorilla roll of toilet paper. And then they come back here and they force it into that little tiny compartment. And then they close the door on it. So now this giant wheel is locked in place. You can't even spin it. You're just... You can't even find where it starts because they glue it. Out of desperation, you gotta pull out your car keys and cut into the side of it like a bag of cocaine on Narcos. Then you get the paper, you try to wipe. Chicago, a year from now, I am predicting that they are gonna take 100% control of the restroom. You're gonna be sitting there and you're gonna think of me because you're gonna see it. You're gonna look over to get the toilet paper and there's gonna be a blinking red light on it. And you're gonna be like, oh my God, Fluffy called it. And what are you gonna have to do? One sheet. You're gonna get frustrated and just sit on it. Just sorry, bro. I know that was a lot of culo. I threw at you right there. She's like, it's like Magic Mike. I'm so sorry, bro. That was a lot. Damn. Yeah. One night, I was drinking on the bus, and I go to put my cup down, and I missed the table, and the cup hit the floor. I didn't get up right away to get the cup because I figured I'm gonna get up in a couple minutes and make myself another drink. I'll pick up the cup then. Dave sees the cup on the floor, and then he looks at me and says, "Hey, I ain't your mama. Pick that shit up." I get to the back of the bus, and I'm like, wait a minute, I pay him. "Hey, Dave, shut up. Yeah, I'll be in the back in my room. Thank you. Drive safe." And people tell me, you work with a man who talks that way to you? Why? Let me tell you why. Because he's honest. With Dave, you know exactly what you get. Nowadays, it is so hard for me to tell who's being genuine and who has an agenda. And with him, you know exactly where you stand. If he likes you, he loves you. And if not, you're on the curb with Kenny G. That being said, I have a story to share. About 1.5 years ago, maybe longer, we're on the bus and we're heading down the highway. Just so you have kind of an understanding of the bus layout, let's say this is the front. Here's Dave, the driver, empty seat, and then a sliding door that goes in between him and the rest of the tour bus. My buddy Alfred and I are in the living room portion, and we're watching TV. We're watching the news. And on the news, there's this person who is running for some type of office. No particular office. And I guess their big plan is to erect a structure between two bodies of land. Somewhere. And I guess they want one side of the structure to finance the entire project. Well, my buddy Alfred and I, we have a lot of family that works in construction, and we know a bad job when we see one. So we started to voice our opinion out loud about how we felt about this person and what they wanted to do. We're being very loud. So loud, Dave can hear us. And then we hear Dave. America. I yell out to Dave. I said, "Be quiet, Dave. This isn't about you." He taps a button on the dashboard that activates the sliding door. And when the door's about that far from closing, he yells out, "I'm building a wall." I couldn't even get upset because I was too much in shock over the fact that that came out of someone 4 feet away from me. My buddy Alfred and I, we look like chickens. We're like, my cell phone goes off. I take out my phone, and there's a text message from Dave. And I said, "That's right, he better say I'm sorry. He better say just kidding." I open up the text message, and it says, "And you're paying for it." And people tell me, "You still work with him after that?" Yes, I do. I trust that man with my life every single night. I know where his heart's at. He can say whatever he wants. At the end of the day, he still has to drive around the king of the Mexicans. The point to this story is, just because you have a difference in opinion, it doesn't mean that you can't have respect for one another, that you can't have love for one another, that you can't have incredible friendships with one another. It's our differences that make us special. What a lot of us need to work on is our delivery. It's all in the way you say things. That's why text messages are always misinterpreted, because you read the text according to how you feel. What does he mean, hello? Yeah. Anyway, Dave has gotten us to 48 of the 50 states. He doesn't travel with us outside of America. He prefers it that way. Last year, we got a chance to do a European tour of 15 countries. Estonia, Germany, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, UK. We're just bouncing around all over the place. And then we wound up on the other side of the world. Out of all the countries I performed in, my favorite country outside of home is Australia. And I'll tell you why. Australia, much like us in America, has its list of priorities. You know what's not on their list? Political correctness. They do not care about your feelings. It's like a country full of Daves. Believe it or not, it's very refreshing to be around such a large group of people who speak their minds so freely. And if you know that before you go there, you're gonna have an amazing time. But if you don't know that and you show up, it is a culture shock and a half, because I showed up and I didn't know. Everybody says you gotta see the beaches, and I went to the beach. I had people coming up to me. Hey, somebody help me get him back in the water. Yeah, look at right there, big fella. Look at you right there. Oh, look, he's moving. He's moving. He's moving. Oh, he's crying. He's crying. I bet it tastes like gravy. It's not bullying if everyone does it. Yeah, that being said, I'm in Australia, Sydney, Australia, at the Opera House. For me, it was one of the most iconic places I've ever got to perform in. It was bucket list, definitely. After the show, I wanted to go hang out with some Aussies and see what that was like. I'm hanging out at a pub. First things first, Australian people do not drink Foster's beer. That's an American thing. They don't drink that over there. I tried ordering one to fit in, didn't go over well. Bartender looked at me. Hey, you like the taste of piss, do ya? Okay, don't order that again. So I'm hanging out with these two Aussies, and we're drinking a rum called Bundaberg. At first glance, it looks like a Coca-Cola bottle because there's a polar bear on the front. And then you drink it, and you're like, that's not Coke. As we're talking, a third Australian joined the conversation. And he sounded a little bit different from the other two. He had more of a raspy voice. More like, all right, yeah, mate, yeah, all right. He sounded like a drunk pirate underwater. These two guys didn't like him, so they called him a name and they left. And now it's just me and drunk pirate. We're talking about life. Life in America, life in Australia, talking about our differences. He tells me that he's a professional knife maker. He's showing me how it's done. He's showing me pictures. We wind up polishing off 3 bottles of this rum. And drunk wasn't even the right word to describe our level. My tour manager, Ryan, he comes up to me and he says, Gabe, time to go. And I look at Ryan and I'm like, but Ryan, I just made a friend and he makes knives. And they're pretty. My tour manager always knows how to talk to me no matter what condition I'm in. If I'm drunk, he knows better than to talk to me like I'm an adult. He talks to me like I'm 2. He looks at me and he says, hey, buddy. You hungry? Well, listen, if we don't leave right now, they're gonna close McDonald's and you're gonna have to eat at the airport. I gotta go. Oh, Mom, you gotta go, no worries. And he goes to shake my hand. And when he shook my hand, he put his personal pocket knife that he made in my hand as a gift. That's for you, Mike. Thanks for being nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna cut cheeseburgers with this. I've been starstruck many, many times. As a matter of fact, this past year, I got to meet one of my childhood heroes. I got to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, some of you are clapping, some of you are like, wait. Well, here's the thing. I didn't love him as a politician, and I was too young to know him as a bodybuilder. All I knew is the movie Terminator was my favorite movie, and he was the Terminator. So, here's the story. I'm in LA at this red carpet event for some movie that I still haven't seen. I'm standing there with my publicist, okay? I'm standing there with my publicist, and she's explaining to me how the red carpet works.
Listen, Gabriel, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna go down the red carpet, and then the paparazzi's gonna start taking photos of you, and then someone's gonna ask you some questions. It's a lot of fun. Then we'll go inside, and then we'll go to the after party. It's gonna be great.
As she's telling me this, I'm looking around, and I look over and I notice, I see him. I see Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I freak out.
Relax. You've never met Arnie?
I said, no, I've never met Arnie.
I work with him all the time. He's really nice. Would you like me to introduce you?
I'm like,
Yes.
she takes me by the hand, and she walks me directly to Arnold. I'm freaking out so bad, I look like a big-ass toddler. We get over to Arnold Schwarzenegger's area, and he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's already got a big group of people around him waiting to take a photo. So I'm just patiently waiting. As I'm watching him, you guys, I gotta tell you right now, no one on this planet is better at meeting people than Arnold Schwarzenegger. He is the greatest people meter I've ever witnessed. And the reason I say this is because when you meet him, he's very engaging. He grabs your hand, he pulls you in, he looks at you in the eyes, and he turns it on. When you meet Arnold, you get exactly what you think you're gonna get. It's awesome to watch. You know?
How are you? So nice to meet you. You're so strong. You put my hand. Hey, look at you. This is incredible. Got these lights and this red carpet. This is incredible. Excuse me. How are you? Hey, you're so strong. You put my hand. This is incredible. Look at you.
People are walking away from him, looking at their hand. They're looking at their hand, you guys. 10 minutes I'm watching Arnold Schwarzenegger light people up. And then I noticed something else. I noticed that Arnold has a handler, a guy who stands right behind him. And it's this guy's job to basically reset Arnold for the next person he's about to meet. Arnold Schwarzenegger will never cut off a conversation with the fan. The guy behind him listens in on the conversation, and he determines when enough is enough, and then he signals Arnold to cut it off and move on. Here's the signal. He grabs the back of Arnold's arm right there, 2 times. 1, 2. That lets Arnold know, cut it off, time to move on. Always to the left. Awesome to watch.
This is incredible with these lights and these special effects is going on here. Excuse me. How are you? Nice to meet you. You're so strong. Hey!
I'm like, oh. So I yell out to the handler, hey! And the handler turns around. Hit him! I want to meet him. Hit him! And he starts laughing because now he sees that I see how the Terminator is really working. So he gives me one of these. Next thing you know, he is lighting Arnold up. He is hitting Arnold so fast, Arnold can barely keep up.
Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, hello, how are you? Excuse me, pardon me, high five, pardon me, excuse me, hello, how are you? Very good. Pound.
He's coming down the line, and I'm just waiting. And I stick my hand out, and he grabbed it.
How are you? Son, I recognize you. I know who you are. You're the comedian who does the joke about the Indian man trying to rob a bank, but he cannot rob the bank because they are making fun of him.
And in my head, I'm like, he knows me! Outside, I'm like, yeah, that's me.
You are hysterical. Give me your contact information. You are the funniest person. Excuse me. How are you? Nice to meet you. You're so strong.
Meeting Arnold is like a really good roller coaster. You want to go to the end and meet him one more time. You know what I'm saying? It was so cool because I'm watching him and people started recording him. And for me, you guys, it's one of those things where I'm finding myself in a very interesting situation right now because I like hanging out. I like going out. I've been drunk in Chicago many, many times. I like to have fun. Here's the problem. I recently signed a contract with ABC Television in hopes of producing my very own sitcom for TV. It's not a guarantee, but I am guaranteed a pilot. Here's the problem. ABC is owned by Disney. Disney is such a huge brand that anytime someone threatens the way you look at that brand, they are dealt with in a very un-Disney-like way. This sitcom that I'm producing is about me. I play myself. I play Gabriel Iglesias. It's about me, my family, my friends. My friend Martin is not allowed on the show. Not per me. Take it up with the mouse. They look at your social media. They look at all of your stuff that you have online. If there's anything about you that doesn't fit that model, they will freaking And I'm paranoid because Disney's so big. They're so huge. They own television stations. They own radio stations. They own Marvel Comics. They own Star Wars. I don't need that phone call, you know? Hello?
Fucked up you did.
I'm so freaking paranoid, you guys. Because nowadays, people are always recording. If you do something that might look stupid, it can still end up turning out even worse. For example, let's say I fall off the stage tonight and someone's recording that. If TMZ gets a hold of that, it can go viral. And God forbid something happens to me, it can make the news. We're standing here in front of the All-State Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, where authorities believe Fluffy lost control. The 39-year-old comedian was found dead for the second time in 2 years. No one knows exactly what happened here tonight. Authorities had this to say. That's why I'm saying, you guys, I gotta be careful because I still enjoy my habits. I still like drinking. And of course, then some people pull me aside and they say, well, Gabriel, why do you drink? Why do you drink? You have so many responsibilities and people you take care of. Why do you drink? Because I have a lot of responsibilities and people to take care of. Some of you already know because you've been to my shows in the past. My poison of choice is tequila. Certain alcohol I no longer mess with anymore. Like I no longer mess with Jaeger. See, first of all, any alcohol that will make you say its name is not safe. And that's the only alcohol that will make you do that. That's the only one you hear people. Jaeger! You don't hear anyone else. You don't hear Mexicans.
Tequila, way!
You don't hear black people. Hennessy playa. You don't hear Japanese. Woo, saki saki! But I guess I should feel honored at the fact that someone at his level would even acknowledge a comedian. You know, it feels good at least knowing that he knows who I am, which is nice. It at least makes me feel relevant. Because, you know, after 2019, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Honestly, for me, I thought that 2019 was the best year I ever had in comedy. And the reason why I say this is because I was this close to hosting the Oscars. Yeah. Pretty sure I got a good chance next year. The year that I almost got to host, that was the year that Kevin Hart was supposed to host. And I don't know if you guys remember the story or not, but basically, Kevin Hart was supposed to host the Oscars. And anytime you host, the background check is next level, okay? They go through all of your social media, all the way back to MySpace. People over 40, you know what's up. Come to find out that 10 years ago, Kevin Hart had sent out a couple of tweets that were questionable. So the Academy confronted Kevin Hart about the tweets. And they said, Kevin, can you please explain? And Kevin was like, yes, I said those things. I acknowledged them 10 years ago. And I apologized 10 years ago. Can we move forward? And the Academy was like, well, good, Kevin. We're glad that you apologized because they've been brought to our attention again. And we need for this to go away. So we need you to apologize. And Kevin said, you can't make me apologize twice for the same thing 10 years apart. And they said, well, you have to, because if you don't, you cannot host the Oscars. And Kevin said, well, thank you, but no thank you. And he walked away from the job. I would have done the same thing in his position. Because by him apologizing, he gives more power to cancel culture, and we can't give him more. We got to take it back. So now the Academy was left with a problem, trying to find a suitable replacement for Kevin Hart, which is not an easy thing to do. So they reached out to a bunch of actors to see if there was interest. And everyone said the same thing. Thank you, but no thank you. We want no part of that Kevin Hart drama. No one wanted the job. Me, on the other hand. Oh, I recognize a job opening when I see one. So I had my manager call the Academy, and the Academy was thrilled to hear from anyone. They were like, Gabriel Iglesias, yes, we know who he is. He's very funny, very witty. We think he would make a good host for the Oscars. Please have him submit some comedy material so we can see what the vibe of the night would be. And based on the material, we'll make our choice. So that's what I did. I sat down one night, got a pen, piece of paper, wrote out a bunch of jokes, and I turned them into the Oscars. And I think that's why they said no. It never made it to TV. So tonight, I would like to do the opening joke that I was going to do for the Oscars. And then you can decide what the vibe of the night would have been. All right, let me do the voice. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Academy Awards. Here's tonight's host, comedian funny man, Gabriel Iglesias. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. It is an honor. Thank you. Thank you. It is an honor to be here tonight hosting the Oscars. In keeping with tradition, here is another Mexican doing a job nobody else wanted. And they passed. They passed. Yeah. You know, and then getting back into the swing of things, we have definitely come a long way from 2020. The fact that we're in a sold-out stadium, elbow to elbow, ready to laugh, have fun. We've come a long way. You know? 2020, you guys, I got to just thank my dogs. I got to thank my dogs because my dogs kept me sane. They kept me happy. They kept me focused. Because I was so depressed. I was sad. I didn't know what to make of things. Do we have any dog owners? Yeah? See, dog owners, you know what's up. No other animal in the world will give you 100% like a dog. What, cat? No. I'm sorry. No disrespect to cats or cat owners. But cat owners, you know as well as I do. Your cats, because I know you got more than one. Your cats look at you like you live in their house. You walk in, you try to scold them for something. And then when you try to talk to them, they turn their back on you and show you their butthole. And you're staring, you're like, oh my God, it's so dark. Only a dog will give you 100% of itself. That's why they get so sad when they know you're about to leave, and why they get so happy when you come home. You are literally everything they've been looking forward to. And now you're back! I know for a fact, nothing on this planet loves me more than my dogs. I said this last night and someone said,
What about your son?
I said, nothing loves me more. I could leave my dressing room for 1 minute or 1 hour. When I come back, the reaction is the same. It is the greatest moment ever, every single time. Oh yeah. My dog Vinny will jump off the couch and run towards me top speed. And then when he gets to me, he jumps up and down. And he makes a sound like a... You can almost hear, where were you? Where were you? Where were you? And he pees everywhere. I used to get upset that he would do that, but then I thought about it. My dog loves me so much, he cannot control his own bodily functions. That's why when I would go home, I would immediately pick him up before anything. And then my girlfriend would get mad. How come you don't come to me first? I said, because the dog loves me more. How do you know I don't love you more? I said, I don't see a puddle. Mira, dry. Yeah, she didn't like that. Sorry. But yeah, these dogs, man, let me tell you. And I apologize if I'm kind of stuttering or I'm not as focused right now. I have never been distracted by a blimp with my face on it. I'm sorry, Netflix, but shit, this... This is like a birthday and Christmas and the Super Bowl and the World Series and losing my virginity all at the same time. Even saw the lights of the Goodyear blimp. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just so goddamn happy right now. Thank you. I wish my mom were here to see this. You have no idea. She would have been happy to see all of you, but she would have been like,
No, chingue su madre. Mira lo que mi hijo está en el cielo. Anda ya con Jesus in the sky. Mira.
that is amazing.